Hey true crime fans, today we are talking about a case where the motive was so bizarre, police couldn't even imagine it. This is the story of Deborah Lynn Wilson, a college student whose killer was hiding in plain sight, and how a secret society of forensic experts cracked the code based entirely on something that was missing: her shoes. The year is 1984. It's November 30th at Drexel University in Philadelphia. Deborah Wilson, a bright young woman, was studying late in the university's computer lab. But she never made it back to her dorm. The next morning, a group of students found a body beneath the stairs of the campus auditorium. When police arrived, the scene was immediately strange. The victim was lying on her back, fully clothed, but there were clear signs of a struggle: bruises on her face and scratch marks on her neck. She had been strangled. The killer had even taken the time to place her coat neatly over her body. But here's the crucial detail that baffled investigators: her backpack. Her wallet, her identification, and most importantly, her white shoes and socks were gone. Police quickly identified her as Deborah Wilson, thanks to her boyfriend, Kurt Rayer. The physical evidence suggested that the murder hadn't actually happened under the stairs. The victim had been dragged there, likely from the computer lab where she was last seen. But why move the body? And why take the shoes? Because the campus was open to the public, the initial list of suspects was huge. Investigators narrowed it down to 7 key people, including the boyfriend Kurt, who had scratches on his hands, which he blamed on punching a wall, and several university security guards who were on duty that night. We also had a student stalker and even a janitor who, unfortunately, had cleaned the computer lab at 5 in the morning, inadvertently wiping away crucial forensic evidence before anyone realized the lab was the primary crime scene. Everyone had an alibi, or at least a story that couldn't be definitively disproven. The security guards, for example, had carefully clocked their checkpoints. With no physical evidence linking any suspect directly to the strangulation, the case completely stalled. For 8 long, frustrating years, the murder of Deborah Wilson went cold. Fast forward to 1992. Detective Bob Snyder, refusing to let the case die, decided to seek outside help. He took the details of the case to an organization almost as mysterious as the crime itself: the Vidocq Society. The Vidocq Society is a private, ultra-exclusive group made up of some of the best forensic experts, detectives, and criminal psychologists in the world. They meet secretly and work cold cases pro bono. Detective Snyder presented the facts. The victim was strangled, not sexually assaulted. The body was moved, and the only items taken were things like identification, money, and her white canvas shoes. It was Richard Walter, a brilliant criminal psychologist and Vidocq co-founder, who provided the crucial insight. He looked at the evidence and concluded that the killer was a controlling, dominant individual who almost certainly had a sexual fetish, specifically for white sneakers. He theorized that the missing shoes weren't a random coincidence. They were the trophy. The killer murdered her just to obtain those specific shoes. This theory changed everything. Now, Detective Snyder had a psychological profile to work with. He revisited the 7 original suspects, specifically looking for anyone who might fit this bizarre profile. He started with the security guards. One of the guards, David Dixon, had been near the computer lab that night. Dixon had claimed he saw the light on and heard the printer running around 2:15 a.m., but then came back later at 4 a.m. to find the door locked. Snyder, armed with the Vidocq profile, re-examined Dixon's statement. The lab manager confirmed a critical detail. The printer was programmed to shut down automatically every night at 10 p.m. Dixon's claim that he heard it running 4 hours later was an outright lie. He was definitely hiding something. When Snyder dug deeper into Dixon's past, the shoe fetish profile became terrifyingly clear. Dixon's neighbors were interviewed, and 4 different women reported instances of missing white canvas shoes and dirty socks from their porches, but nothing else of value was ever stolen. Even Dixon's military records showed that he had been disciplined years earlier for stealing white shoes from other service members. David Dixon was arrested. Police searched his home and discovered something horrifying: more than 20 pairs of white canvas shoes, all neatly wrapped and stored, including Deborah Wilson's missing sneakers. They also found videos featuring women walking or exercising, specifically in white shoes, confirming the sexual fetish. While he initially denied the crime, Dixon eventually confessed to his cellmate that he murdered Deborah just to take those shoes. Dixon was convicted and sentenced to life in prison, all because a secret group of experts realized that the most insignificant piece of missing evidence, Pair of white sneakers was the entire motive. This chilling case proves that sometimes the true crime story is far stranger and often much more disturbing than fiction.